I have no idea how many of these spur of the moment videos I'm gonna keep doing, bro. But every time that I'm prompted in the spirit, I'm gonna go ahead and get on here and do it. All right. We are on the channel Redirecting, as you can see. Proverbs 31, School of Wisdom. Okay. Um, Everyone is broke, tired, and angry. TikTok vents pure frustration, getting worse. Now, you know, as you can see, I made it 14 minutes and 34 seconds, a little bit more than that, because I took it back at the beginning of hers. Okay? Uh, Bruh. No one ever told us that Satan had to play fair. No one ever told us that Satan had to play fair. No one ever told us that the adversary had to play fair. Right before I began recording, by the way, this is after hours, that I normally do what I do here, because I rather, do this in the mornings, in the daytime. Usually, I don't get on here, in the evening or at night. It's 8:18 p.m., 10/12/2025. And I actually got to get up early. So I'm not going to keep this long. Nevertheless, I was in my head. And I was like, Father, uh, yeah, no one ever told us that Satan had to play fair. And then, as I was washing out the tub, I was communicating with my maker. And I was just like, wow. Yeah, like all my life being told that life ain't fair. But growing up in Christianity being told, get over it. You know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Yeah, life ain't fair. You know, but work hard and you can be successful. You can overcome. Um, but when you really think about it, what they were saying is get with the system. Focus on earning money for a living and saving money and building a successful physical life for yourself. And all of this is contrary to how we were instructed to live in the beginning. So now humanity is living for selfishness and greed. But most of humanity is sinking further and further in poverty. Homelessness is skyrocketing. So as I was in my head, and thinking back when all the times I was told that life ain't fair, every time I said that, I said that. I would say that's not fair. And then I'd be told life ain't fair. But as I was in my head thinking that, then all of a sudden it was like, wow. So if life ain't fair, that means it did not come from the God of love. Because the God of love is fair. The God of love is just. So if life ain't fair, then clearly it's a false ass reality. Let's get some clips. Let's listen.
Just not paying nobody. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody, no worker is actually getting what they are worth and what their contribution to their company is.
Of course not. You're not getting nowhere near what your worth is because you are worth more than the reward of money. We all are. Why are you salty that I realize this? I'm telling you all the same. You all are worth more than the reward of money. However, there's a specific people upon the earth that this is what they live for. They live for the reward of money so that they can have their materialistic things. Okay? They don't live for real, genuine love and compassion and kindness and mercy and empathy. No, they live for money and materialistic things. Okay? So, them people, they're the ones that, the God of love allotted to get the resources of the earth by earning money for a living. Yes, this economic system was allotted for a reason. Okay? But only those who are the portion of the God of love will actually operate in the attributes of love. Real infinite love, unconditional love, divine love.
These major companies, these corporations, these industries, these institutions, they make all of this money. I mean, an unfathomable amount.
Of course. And you, because I no longer participate in it, are their slaves. And they brag about it. Yes. I feel for you. I feel for the people who have literally been duped. Because you have been duped into following Lucifer's plan to live a life of selfishness for your own self-preservation. I think I need to go back, or I don't know where is it? She said it was forced. Hold on, hold on. Might not have gotten to it yet. Yeah, maybe I hadn't gotten to it yet. Okay, maybe I hadn't gotten to it yet. Because there's somebody on here that says that they were forced into it. You know, that they work their jobs because they're forced into it. And, you know, when they're meaning that they're forced, they mean that if they don't do it, they will suffer. That's what they mean by force. Okay? If they don't do it, they will suffer the consequences for not doing it. So that is force, okay? But that's more so strong arming because it's not actually force because you do have a choice still. Okay? There is still another choice, and that choice is to suffer. Okay? Not many people would choose that. Okay? Most people do choose to conform. Okay? Let me show you why. Let me show you why, people. Hold on. As a flowing by way of the Spirit. And the problem is you've been very evil to somebody that's chosen to do the suffering. Okay? I literally chose the suffering. Instead of conforming to earning money for a living, I mean, hell, I have been gifted by way of the Spirit. So why not be obedient to the leading of the Spirit? Why do you want me to suppress my spirit? Why do you want me to turn my back on my spiritual mission? Why do you keep upholding this wicked ass system? Give me just a second. I had to bring up my Windows Explorer. I mean, people, right now, I'm literally suffering, okay? I have no tobacco, alright? I have a little bit that I got from my neighbor, and I'm having to roll them and make a makeshift cigarette. I have no tubes. Life sucks, bro. This physical life freaking sucks. But I am continuously putting out this work by way of the Spirit, all while dealing with being ignored. People treating me as if I don't exist. It's almost like, you know, it's so that they can have an excuse to call me um or claim that I'm seeking, attention and or honors of mortal men, clout. That ain't what it is, people. Okay? Or they want to claim that I'm seeking to depend upon people. All right? I'm seeking for people to take care of me. See, they want to keep diminishing what I've been instructed to do by way of the Spirit. They want to try to make it make sense to their internal narrative. No man on earth is truly free. All are slaves of money or necessity, public opinion or fear of prosecution, persecution, punishment, okay, forces each one, well, most people, against his conscience to conform. So in and of yourself, inwardly that something is off about working jobs for money, for a living. When the earth was created for everything that was needed to sustain the creation. Who said that it's okay for a small group of people to literally control all the resources of the earth and create an economic system where they're oppressing all humanity and all creation? What gives these people the right to rule over others? But see, because they have the physical might to make you suffer, that's the public opinion or fear of prosecution, all right, persecution, all right, punishment, all right, all of these things force most people to go ahead and get a job and earn their money for a living. And in doing so, it hardens their heart against the rare few that choose not to be a slave for money. But we become a slave of necessity. So now we are the meek, tender-hearted vessels of mercy that is in need. We're a slave of necessity because we are in a fleshly body. But we are not a slave to money. I am not for sale. You cannot buy me with your fiat currency.
And they just hoard it. They keep it to themselves.
Writers, actors, UPS workers, everybody going on strike, and I love to see it. Do you know why? Because labor strikes are the best example that we have of the fact that this country is built off of slavery. And if you never thought about it that way before, it's okay, it's not your fault. In 1860, enslaved people in the United States produced 2 billion pounds of cotton. Billion with a B. Remember, by 1860, there were 4 million enslaved people in the United States. That's more people working for free than are currently working for Walmart, Amazon, and McDonald's combined.
Now, also, who was the slaves? That was those who they reclassified as Negro, Black, Mulatto, African American. All right? And this is our ancestral land. So, not only did we not get to benefit, but all nations got to get prosperous off of our back. Okay, off of our suffering. All right? All of this time. All of this time.
And the inhumane conditions in which you are expected to work right now are because of that. We are not taught about the first labor strikes in this country. Indigenous people just refusing to work as slaves or in exchange for unfair treaty agreements because they had the advantage of knowing how to survive in the climate and terrain of North America. You're not taught about the enslaved people who burned crops, who purposefully worked slower, who broke machines, who ran away into the forest, not permanently, but just long enough to stop production on the plantation, or the ones who just walked away to join the Union Army. This country, in its current form, can only survive if as many people as possible are working themselves to the bone in bare minimum conditions for as close to free as possible. So yeah, don't cross the picket line. Keep striking. Strike, strike, strike.
This is exactly what I've done. I'm not earning money for a living. I've been doing this for over 3.5 years. Going through the physical misery and long suffering. And literally being detested by the whole damn community. YouTube, Facebook, my own damn family. It's crickets all around me. The whole damn world has been ignoring me.
I love it.
Yo, what the are we doing here, man? What the is going on? I just left the supermarket and drove past a whole ass homeless family on. Yo, what the man? Like, why is it that I can take the last $50 out of my bank account? Why do I only have $50 left? Oh, because I went to college. That's why. Why can I take the last money out of my goddamn bank account and you millionaires, you just sit here and you watch everybody suffer? All you selfish ass celebrities, all you bullshit ass billionaires, all of you. I wish I would buy another concert ticket. Brad Pitt out here making skin cream. Build an apartment building, you selfish mother. What is going on? What is it gonna take for us to stop being absolute monsters to each other and do something?
$98 goddamn dollars at Costco to fill up my tank. $98.
News this week that the United Nations had a vote on whether or not food was a right, and finding out that the United States is the only country that said no really doesn't make me want to go outside. It doesn't make me want to pay my bills. It doesn't make me want to do anything. Honestly, it's lengthening the deep sadness that I feel living in this country that already existed. Food isn't a fucking right.
Yo, this world is so backwards. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck.
Now see, you nations, I hear what y'all saying, but y'all did not care anything about this at all as long as y'all were able to benefit from the system. And this is how it was for a long damn time. You know what y'all feeling right now? Y'all are feeling what we felt the moment that this economic system was established. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse upon us. Especially after the Civil War, when they created a whole new economic system. Okay? After the Civil War is when all of these benefits was laid out for all you Europeans and all other nations, all right, to get up on top of us, the indigenous Americans, the original Americans. Okay, so your economy after the Civil War, that was all for your benefit, nations. And now all of a sudden you have lost those blessings. And it's for good reason. It's because you are in your judgment. The curses are moving off of us, the people of this land. And they are going upon all you nations who have been ignoring our suffering The whole entire time that you've all been upon these lands. These are not your ancestral lands, nations. We are the people who were found upon these lands by you Europeans. And y'all have not cared to address our suffering. No, you want to still ignore our suffering, and now you want to claim that we're all the same. No, sir. No, ma'am. We are not all the same. As I stated in the beginning, y'all already got the benefit, okay? Y'all already had the benefits. All right, now y'all bitching and you complaining because you're no longer in your blessing. And now you're feeling the pressure of this system. But we've been feeling it this whole damn time. Welcome to what it feels like to be black.
I'm tired of not being able to afford daycare because it's the cost of my weekly pay for one day. I'm tired of spending $200+ a week just to feed my family. I'm tired of filling my gas tank twice a week when I go to work twice a week and work from home the other days. I'm tired of working 2 jobs just to live the bare minimum, just to make it. This economy is not set up for families or working moms. I'm just tired. I'm tired. But you make too much for government assistance, so we can't approve you. But you don't make enough to live, so...
I'm literally on the cusp of really just giving the fuck up. I'm so exhausted of pretending to be okay and then people still demanding me to be more, to be bigger, to be better for their own personal enjoyment, but not for my own mental fucking health. I find it very exhausting as a woman, as a black woman, as a queer black woman, to have to be everything for everybody. Women want me to be their best friend and confidant and their advice giver and leech all of my energy to bring them joy. Men want me to give them seduction. They want me to smile. They want me to only give the right answers and allow them to be in charge. Society wants me to shut up, go to work, be quiet, do as I'm told. My family wants me to be a support system, consistently giving all of myself as if I haven't become a completely new person since I've been an adult. My boss needs me to be attentive, detail-oriented, focused, as if the world around me isn't completely crumbling into shit and I don't have enough money to pay my goddamn bills or clean water to drink in some areas of America, and then we still have to just smile and pretend like everything's okay. I just have to give too much. It's too fucking much. And I'm...
Bruh. No one ever said that Satan had to play fair. Alright? No one ever said that the devil would play fair. Okay, you see these movies, when you make a deal with the devil, is it ever fair? Does it ever really work out for those who made a deal with the devil? No, it doesn't. But why do you want to continue to be so evil towards the few of us that woke up by way of the Spirit and were like, hell no, Satan, get thee away from me. Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, eternal benevolence only. Alright? The source of benevolence only. Not malevolence. Alright? Selfishness is a part of malevolence. That don't come from the source of benevolence. So, no longer am I going to participate in earning money for a living. Why the hell you want to be evil towards me? Because I'm not following the ways of the adversary. I'm not making a deal with the devil like majority of humanity. I'm one of the meek, tender-hearted vessels of mercy, here freely giving an abundance of spiritual clarity and understanding. I've been here for over 4.5 years. Full time over 3.5 years.
I'm really tired. I have this constant need for escapism because I'm trying to bleed out of the skin of capitalist individualist society, but I am sucked back in because I'm forced to, and I'm really about to quit on y'all. And
like that's the force that I was talking about. That's the force here. Public opinion, and you heard everything that she said. Okay, so it's public or opinion or fear of prosecution, all right, persecution, all right, suffering, okay, punishment, all of these things. That's what she means by forces her against her conscience to conform. But she at the breaking point to where she about to, like what she just said, she about to quit and leave.
Leave this fucking place. I want to leave. I want to leave America. I want to leave corporate world. I want to leave the idea of how I should be a woman. I just want to be. I just want to be without any transcriptions of how I should be. Can I do that?
Like, bruh, that's what it is. The God of love created our spirit unique and different, but we were born into a system that literally imposed conformity. Okay, all of these socially constructed boxes that we're all expected to fit in. And if you don't fit in these boxes, then you're demonized, you're ostracized, all right, you're belittled, okay, you're mistreated, okay, you're seen as an enigma, okay. All of these things happen to those of us who are different and who refuse to conform to your system and your way of being, all right. At some point in time, we're gonna rebel against it.
Without any stipulations of anyone getting pissed about what I can and cannot do. That's what I want to do. And I'm about to do that shit, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks.
And I don't know how I'm supposed to be happy with the fact that the average cost to raise 3 children per month is over $4,000.
I always get, you're so pretty, you're such a beautiful girl. And trust me, like, I love it. I eat it up. I love it, you know? I take pride in taking good care of myself, and I will actually be washing my face. I'm not just going to only use these wipes. But
Bro,
today
so
I got paid.
Bro.
My check was a little bit over $2,000. I did 10 hours overtime because that's what I'm allowed to do. And then I got a $24 check from the second job that I just started at the mall. I paid my rent. That was like $1,500. $1,553. I paid my car note. That was $406. That left me with $81. I went and got gas because I was on E. That left me with $33. And I went to the grocery store to get a can of soup and some bread and some stuff, and so I could eat dinner. And I went to get some Cheez-Its because I love Cheez-Its. And they're normally $2.99 a box, but they were like almost $4. And I cry because it's like $4. Like, who pays for $4 for a box of crackers?
So are we just all going to pretend that we're fine? Because the more people that I talk to, the more young couples in their like 20s and 30s or even like singles, everyone seems to be having a hard time making ends meet right now. And I'm just really wondering why this doesn't feel like 2008. Like, I remember 2008 as a 9-year-old because everybody was talking about how everything was so expensive and everybody was broke and there were no jobs. Like, I remember that as a child. And now as an adult, I'm like, wait, am I the only one struggling? Like, it has just occurred to me in the last month that I am not the only one. My husband and I have 3 degrees between the two of us, and we have 3 to 5 years of experience in our fields, still cannot get a job that makes life comfortable. So I'm just saying, I don't know how to fix it. That's above my pay grade. I don't know. Hopefully.
I can tell you how to fix it. You are to join yourself with the covenant seed of this land. Oh, let me rephrase that. The obedient covenant seed of this land. You want to assist us. Yes, that's how you join with us. Because it ain't about vain lip service. It is about your mentality and your heart condition. I don't know her mentality or her heart condition, especially those who she probably considers as African Americans. We're the original Americans, and you're all upon this land. And you were able to live your American dream for a very long time, till 2019. Then all hell broke loose. And it's just been getting worse and worse and worse for you. Because you are in your judgment, nations.
Smarter people than me are working on that. But I just kind of want us to know that, like, it's not us. Like, I think our parents told us to save money, and, like, you need to save, you're being irresponsible, or you need to, make sure you're financially stable, or you're being irresponsible.
Say money, say money, say money, say money, say money, say money. Do not store up for yourselves. What do you think treasures is? That would be money. That would be your savings account. Treasures in heaven. See, that's what's really important. The eternal wealth is what's really important. But hardly no one is thinking anything about treasures in heaven. No, many people are under a strong delusion looking for a rapture. They think their treasure is floating up to heaven with Jesus, to live their heaven in the clouds. You built your heaven upon this earth. Granted, now you're losing it, okay? Because Satan don't play fair. He only had a certain amount of time frame, okay? He only had a certain amount of time. He knew he didn't have indefinitely, okay? And, unfortunately, for many of you nations, your forefathers lied to you, okay? They didn't tell you the truth. They told you to save money, save money, save money, save money, save money, or you're being an irresponsible adult. I was told the same damn thing growing up by my family. But let's read here in the scripture. Do not store up for yourselves money on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. Now, when you store up your physical money on the earth, that's where it can be destroyed. That's where it can be stolen. That's where something can happen to it. It is not secure. Okay? That's why all throughout the scriptures he told you don't put your trust and faith in money. But yet is engraved on the back of your money, in God we trust. And the whole world, practically all of humanity, has placed their trust and faith in money. And they are storing it up upon the earth. But the few of us that have been storing up for ourselves treasures in the kingdom, that's eternal wealth, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Y'all been hating on us. Y'all been hating on us because you've been so busy and focused upon storing up for yourselves treasures on the earth. You've been so busy storing up for yourselves money on the earth and hoarding it unto yourselves. Yeah, things are really bad and tight now these days. Is a reason for that. Because Satan knows that his time is up. And he knows prophecy. The adversary knows the prophecies. So yeah, he's got to tighten his squeeze. Nevertheless, you still have the option to begin to store up treasure in the righteous kingdom. And how do you do that? You do that by helping to relieve suffering, especially for the meek, tender-hearted vessels of mercy. For whatever you do unto us, you're doing it for the Messiah, the promised anointed one. And you're doing it for our God, the God of love, compassion, and mercy, the God of generosity. The only time that the adversary is generous is in order to entice you into his kingdom, which is a prison. Sell your possessions and give to the poor. And then you will receive the treasure in heaven, where no thief approaches and no moth destroys. All right? For wherever your money is, your treasure is, there is your heart. Okay? Now, my treasure is in spiritual wealth, spiritual clarity and understanding. That's where my heart is at. And wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is at. Okay, so clearly my treasure is the spiritual clarity and understanding, the spiritual wealth, the eternal wealth. That's what I'm loyal to. Okay? I ain't loyal to the God of money. So why do you keep stonewalling me? Instruct those who are rich in the present age not to be conceited, and not to put their hope in the uncertainty of wealth, but in the God of love, who richly provides all things for us to enjoy. I am to instruct you to do good. To be rich in good works is a good work to help to relieve misery and long suffering. It's a good work to be generous and ready to share. That way you treasure up for yourselves a firm foundation for the future, near future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life. This is how you take hold of what is truly life. You gotta change your heart condition and your mentality. from selfishness and greed to generosity, especially to the meek, tender-hearted vessels of mercy. You want to help uplift righteousness. You want to help uplift these type of messages. James 5:1-3. Come now, you who are rich, weep and wail over the misery to come upon you. Your riches have rotted, and moths have eaten your clothes. Your gold and silver are corroded. Their corrosion will testify against you and consume your flesh like fire. You have hoarded treasure in the last days. Proverbs 23:4-5. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. So that's the basis of the economic system. Come, live your American dream. How else are you going to be able to really live your American dream unless you get rich? You can't really live your American dream unless you get rich. But the scripture says don't wear yourself out to get rich. Don't try to live your American dream. Don't work to live your American dream. But that was the deal that humanity made with Lucifer. Says be wise enough to restrain yourself. So clearly I'm wise. I don't say that in arrogance. I say that in great humility. You can't call me arrogant just because I know who I am, people. I'll be right back. I need water. Alright, I am back. Like I said, I didn't plan this audio, so, I can't stay on here too much longer, people. Alright, when you glance at wealth, it disappears, for it makes wings for itself and flies like an eagle to the sky. Set your minds on the things above, not on earthly things. So why am I so hated when my mind is set upon the things of above, not on earthly things? Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. For the God of love said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. My God has yet to forsake me, though I go through a hell of a lot of physical misery and long suffering. 1 John 2:15-17. Again, they offered for you to come live your American dream. Well, if you are striving to live your American dream, that means you are partaking in the world and you are loving the world. You are trying to pursue the love of the world, which is the American dream. Okay? Once you achieve the American dream, then you love your world that you created for yourself. You love your heaven, that your little slice of the pie that you were able to carve out for yourself. Okay? But the scripture says, do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh, the desires of the eyes, and the pride of life is not from the eternal Father, Mother, but from the world. Okay? That is the American dream. The American dream has nothing to do with any kind of spiritual clarity and or understanding, obtaining it. No. It's all about the pleasures of the flesh. Any desire that you have of the flesh, you're able to get it because you have money. The desire of the eyes. Oh, you're able to get all the clothes and jewelry and all of these things that you want. The things that pleases your eyes. You're able to obtain that. Hell, you're able to even purchase sex. All right? You're able to purchase sex slaves. All right? Hey, if, little ones suit your fancy, you're able to purchase them on the black market, on the down low. Okay? Money been ruling the world. The pride of life. All right? Those who got the money make the rules, right? All of that ain't from the eternal Father, Mother. But all of that is from Satan's world. Pleasure Island. That's what we have been living. That's what's been imposed upon all humanity and all creation. And it was literally just imposed upon the spiritual people of this land. And all praises to the God of love and compassion that this bullshit ass world is about to pass away, along with all of its desires. But whoever does the will of the God of love will remain forever. Now, all of you, with all your physical prosperity, even though it may be dwindling quickly, the best thing that you can do with the abundance is assist us out of your abundance. That way, you will be doing the will of the God of love, and you will remain forever, for eternity, with the God of love and his people. The Messiah told you, if you want to be perfect, go sell your possessions and give to the poor. It don't say give it all to the poor, but you are to help to relieve misery and long suffering. How can you think it's a righteous thing to not help to relieve physical misery and long suffering when you have might in your hands? When you refuse to do this, you will not have treasure in the kingdom, in the righteous kingdom. Because you've already received your treasure, and you hoarded your treasure, and you caused great misery and suffering upon the earth. Therefore, you are going to reap what you have sown. Jesus told you, you still lack one thing. Sell everything you own and give to the poor. Help to relieve physical misery and long suffering. This was the message that the Messiah truly taught. He taught for you to care about the poor. He taught for you to care about the animals. He came to take the animals off our plate. Okay? He taught love and compassion, kindness, mercy, empathy, generosity, purity, holiness, righteousness, goodness, all things benevolent. This is what the Messiah came to teach upon the earth, and he was hated for it. And I know it for a fact because I'm experiencing the same damn treatment. He who loves money is never satisfied by money, and he who loves wealth is never satisfied by income. This too is futile. So this whole economic system is merely a giant test, but it was imposed by Lucifer. All right? Riches are going to be worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness brings deliverance from death. Righteousness brings deliverance from death. We were born into the age of deception, people. And many have followed after the plan of Lucifer unknowingly. Already this has happened because the love of many has already waxed cold. Clearly, majority of humanity has a whole lot of animosity and hatred within their heart condition and their mentality. Many are offended at the truth. I have been betrayed by those who claim to be my family and my friends. I have been hated. There's been many false prophets. Even when the Messiah was upon the earth, there were false prophets upon the earth back then. The whole damn world is under a huge deception, a strong delusion. This is from the sealed portion, chapter 11. The law is love, and that law is supposed to be taught to our children. And we were to cause our children to live by the law immortality. But this is not what's been taught to the children for generations. We've all been taught to earn money for a living. Alright? Therefore, we have not had peace and happiness among us all the days of our probation. No, it's been literal hell on earth. Nevertheless, the requirements of this law are opposed to the plan of Lucifer. Alright, so this, the reason I read it like that, so you can see that clearly, if we were living in the real reality, if the God of love put those who call themselves our leaders and our rulers, if those that call themselves the authority, if the God of love established them in control of his earth, if he established them, then we all would have been taught according to his law of love. Alright, and we all would have been caused to live by this law immortality, as we would have been taught, and we would have been seeing the demonstration of loving your neighbor as thyself. We would have been seeing the demonstration of benevolence. Alright, we would not have been seeing the demonstration of selfishness and greed. We would not have been seeing the demonstration of a caste system and one people being put on the bottom of the system and treated horribly, while all other nations been risen up systematically above us. See, this is you can't claim to be established by the God of love and compassion, and you claiming our God when we live in the opposite reality. Okay, we clearly live in the opposed reality. All right, so this shows us that we were living during a time of this great deception, because we're living in the plan of Lucifer. Let's go ahead and read. Whose purpose and intent has always been centered in selfishness, and he has great power and influence over the hearts of the children of men. Does he not? Doesn't he have great influence over the heart and mentality of humanity, as he's forcing everybody to earn money for a living, as no man on this earth is truly free? All are slaves of money or necessity and public opinion or fear of prosecution or persecution, affliction, punishment. All of these things forces most people against their conscience to conform to this satanic ass system. And this because of the veil that has been placed over their minds, that they do not remember the things of the eternal Father, Mother. Love your neighbor as thyself. Keep psyching yourself out that this came from the God of love and compassion. Keep psyching yourself out that there's no such thing as a God of love and compassion. Keep psyching yourself out to believe that this is all just random, and evil must be all powerful because we're all forced into this abominable ass system as ignorant debt slaves, while the worst of the heathen sit on top of this pyramid, ruling all humanity and all creation in great wickedness. Who's keeping them in check? They only had a certain amount of time frame for this, people. Okay? And, your time is up. Alright? Your time is up, people. You want to stay with this, okay? Committee of 300, family elite, rich and powerful sub-families, alright? Global think tanks, okay? World financial control, alright? Private corporations, world natural resource. Who gave these wicked ass people the right to just take control over what the God of love created and freely gave unto us? Why are you complacent, ignorant debt slaves? See, we're all down here together. Although us, the indigenous people of this land, the original Americans who have been repeatedly reclassified, they put us up under this debt system. This whole damn system been built on top of us. That's what you nations don't understand. This is why you have to renounce this system and help us. That's how we destroy the system. That's the only way that you're going to destroy the system. Alright? So on that note, people, shalom.